Welcome to another episode of the Writer's Mindscape. Do it.
Scape.
It's stupid, Adam. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tim,
I'm Adam.
and today we're doing part 2 of our planning sessions. Today we'll be covering our societies
Yes.
with a little bit of government thrown in there,
Kind of.
and some
I haven't really broken it down to a street level yet.
yeah, but government's doesn't really play too much of a role, from what we understand so far. But so we're not really diving full flesh into that, but we'll cover it in society,
Right.
and we'll cover a topic that we actually haven't done a thing on a separate planning set. We're planning for, but we haven't really broken down advice for
Yes.
on technology.
Yeah.
Basically, you can just kind of follow the rules for magic, but at some point we will do something on technology.
Yeah.
But basically, same thing falls for it. Hard magic system or soft magic system really comes down to a hard sci-fi science or soft sci
Yeah.
science.
Are you saying that your spaceship is powered by a reality-bending warp drive, or are you breaking down how that,
Yeah.
specifically how that works step by step? Me? I'm just going, yeah, it exists, and it does a thing.
It does a thing. I push this button and it does its thing.
Yeah, there we go. We're good, right?
Hard science, because I told you I push a button.
It happens.
If I didn't say push a button, it's soft. Because I said to push a button, we're in the hard. But yeah, so we'll talk about a little bit of technology today as well, for that. And just like before, in a minute or two, you'll just hear us start talking to each other.
Yeah.
Because you're hearing us actually planning.
Yep.
Nothing more than that. And then we'll come back and wrap up the episode.
All right.
All right, so have fun and enjoy listening to me talk. I do apologize for Adam. I know.
Oh,
Horrible.
Wow. Okay. All right. So that's how today's episode's going to be.
Yes.
So we're talking about society. Tim, what kind of societies do you have? Are they as planned as everything else you've had so far?
Absolutely. Sure, Adam. No.
Damn it.
The closest I have to thought out is I do have the humans. I see them more kind of their society is more almost on a tribal level. They're not like tribal in a sense of technology and third
No.
world. No, they're just like because of yes, it's been 4,000 years since they've come over, but because of the terrain and new predator, like stuff like just how they adapted, they kind of it's better for them to be more in smaller villages throughout the area versus one giant like city. But they are still they're not like if you go to like Africa, they're not like that tribal. Like
Whoa, dude.
they don't have running water or anything.
Whoa, dude. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Like they're not like they don't have like running water or anything like that. No, but they have villages. They're just not in a big city, but they do have like
So they're not nomadic.
but they
But
do,
it's smaller societies.
yes. That work with together. And there's if I had to dive into government, each one has their own kind of government, but they have to work with each other too. And then you have the villages that like, no, I don't want to do it that way.
I don't work with that.
You have more of a dictator type person in charge of that village and says my way or the highway. Oh, you don't want to do it my way? Well, I'm not gonna. He says I'm not working with you when it's more like okay, then you're not working with us.
Yeah.
But because to save face, they have to like I'm not working with you then because I'm awesome.
Okay. All right.
That's just about as far as I got. But they do have ways to travel. I haven't gotten to how far in it, but they're definitely if I had to say, it's almost like a mixture of I'd say almost a level of our modern day technology, but not in the way we have it, like metal and all that.
Okay.
What I'm seeing in my head right now is combining like more organic elements to get an equivalence to what we have, but not like steel.
Okay.
So they can move around. They have a version of a car, but it's more like organic. I guess best I can describe it as. I don't know how, but that could change. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah.
But they're also not to our level full on, because they're more in tune with nature in a sense as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about as far as I got for societies.
Oh, awesome.
Technology wise, we'll dive into technology a little bit.
Okay.
But so now this will become the Adam show, because this is going to be the next 3 hours of him talking.
Okay. So I have four major societies
That he knows of now.
right now. Well, no, they'll break down, but there's four majors.
Yes.
We have the Eastern Empire.
Yep.
We have the Western Empire.
So in other words, the good guys on the east, the bad guys on the west.
It's not necessarily that way, but their societies reflect different things, different morals. And then you have the borderlands between them.
Okay.
They are filled with small countries. There is a section that is called the city-states of the borderland. That society is open and willing to trade with both sides,
Okay.
but you're not allowed to bring military there.
Aha.
So it's neutral ground. Within that, we have the tribe, the nomadic tribe of the sun god.
Okay.
That is where they settled. They do not actually have control.
Interesting.
They are actually not. They are the. Really, they're the only religion in the area, because everyone else is basically atheist. But of the borderlands, but also there are other areas regarding the borderlands. Like there's a huge mountain range which is nigh impassable.
Okay.
So there might be a society up there. There might not be. I don't know right now. And then we also have the jungle. The jungle is a section of the border between the two empires where my cat people live.
So it's kind of like the shadow area in Lion King. We do not go there.
Also the elven forests of Tolkien.
Yes.
It's just like societies outside of that do not go there.
Okay.
Because as the Western Empire, which I'll get to them in a little bit, they attempted to invade because they thought it's actually going, on paper, it's the fastest route to the Eastern Empire.
Yeah, okay.
They were completely and utterly wiped out, and those that did escape came out with tales of werebeasts, werecats, humanoid cats that were killing everyone. So the Cat Society is a warrior-based society. At the same time, they're also like, the way I look at it is they're a very Japanese, but the old samurai.
Yeah.
You have households that teach a very specific way of fighting, and you are knights of that household, and that's how they are structured.
So they're not lazy cats?
They're not lazy cats. They kind of are. They're really into art and nature, and being one with their society, their realm.
They really
At the same time, they are very protective of it.
They should be lazy cats and be hard to get motivated. But when they get motivated, they get pissed off.
At the same time, they do actually have interactions with the outside world. They have spies.
Okay.
There are also exiles from their world who have gone on to be assassins.
Okay.
And they are the top level assassins because they will get their target no matter what.
Ah, interesting.
Any means necessary. Any means necessary. So my Eastern Empire, they are it's a monarchy.
Okay.
They're ruled by the House of Hohenstein.
Hohenstein.
It's a, as I said in last week's episode, this is a matriarchal society.
Okay.
So the queen is actually the head of the church.
Yes.
She's the head of the Children of Mata. Her husband oversees the military, basically protecting the home.
Yeah.
And then there is a third branch because also oddly enough, as the queen, she is the head of the church, but she does not take what's the word I'm looking for? An active role in the legislature of the rest of the society.
Okay.
It is also a very very democratic socialist.
Oh, okay.
So everyone pays in, constantly to a center fund, and it's then redistributed so that everyone does better.
Okay.
Like also the third branch is a very scientific. Alchemy is taught, like it's a science. You learn 1 + 1 = 2, and that copper and I don't know this other element make gold.
Okay.
Like they can, but you're also taught that for everything that you use, there has to be something that you're paying into it.
Yes, the equivalent exchange in a sense.
Right. Now, technology-wise, they're slightly advanced. Cloning is a used thing, but at the same time, like most of the fighters are actually just clones.
Okay.
So men are able to actually be home and be the labor at on the home front.
Oh, okay.
Your expendable soldier. Sorry to say that, everyone, but your foot soldier is usually a clone.
Okay.
It also allows their magic casters to guiltlessly use the power of other humans to perform massive amounts of magic.
Yeah, because we talked about this because of how alchemy works.
Yeah, they just draw the power from them. Now, the power for this, though, can you're taught that because there's consequences for everything. You can use nature, physical, like the life force of nature.
Yeah.
Of animals, of the world around you, with yourself as well. Okay, let's see. Oh, and then my Western Empire. Ooh, I like going over here. Now, this one, I do actually have a name for. Oh, where did I put it? Notes. There you are. Okay. So it's actually the 7th era of the Golgothan Empire.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. You really got to these names down.
Yes. So it is run by Emperor Sax Golgotha.
Okay.
He is the 7th of the Golgothan line.
Interesting.
Which is why it's the 7th era of the Golgothan Empire.
Okay.
His descendant, that the first Golgotha.
Yeah.
He stole the empire from the previous. Like, he killed the previous emperor and just took over.
Oh, interesting.
At that time, though, that was an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like you challenge the emperor, they die, you take over. That rule is still in effect, though.
Oh, okay.
So, which is why every emperor has had multiple wives, not wives. They actually have multiple concubines and multiple children. So that way, when they're near death or ready to give power away, it's not descended to the firstborn. So if this guy has 17 children,
Yep.
If he died,
Yep.
all 17 have a
rightful
legal
claim. A rightful claim to the throne.
Yes. Now, what previous emperors have done is chosen a favorite and killed off the others.
Ah, okay.
Yes. And right now, in my story, he does not have a favorite.
Ah, okay.
They all have their own purposes within his empire, but he's not decided that any one of them are worth it, except for his third son. I said it was third son that was running the church, right?
I think so.
Notes.
You actually seem to think like I actually pay
Yeah,
attention.
third son.
You actually seem to think I pay attention to when you speak.
The third son has a contingency plan
Ah,
to take the throne.
interesting.
Because he runs the church and his spies and assassins are able to be everywhere. He has a contingency plan, basically his own Order 66,
Interesting.
where it's wipe out all my brothers. Oh, also it's only brothers.
Oh, okay. Because only the brothers can inherit.
Oh no, anytime there has been a daughter, the emperor has killed it.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Why is that?
because he only wants boys
Oh, okay.
to continue on the Golgotha Empire. Yeah, it's kind of it's not a really good thing. And by the way, that evilness and
Yeah.
that kind of mindset of being the best at everything
Yep.
and taking out your enemies kind of permeates through the entirety of society.
Okay.
The way you get ahead is to either make the person above you look bad,
Mm-hmm.
and then get advancement that way, or to openly challenge them, kill them, and take their position, or openly challenge them, humiliate them, and take the position. Because humiliation means that you probably should just go commit suicide.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens if they get a king who doesn't care about his kingdom when he's about to give up power because he's dying, and he just lets
So that did happen in the third era.
Oh, okay.
At the end of the third era, before the fourth era began, there was a 30-year period where there was no actual emperor, and 5 of the previous emperor's sons were still alive.
And went to war with each other?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Nearly fractured the empire, but the son that took over was able to wipe out his brothers.
I love how the fact that this was supposed to be about society, which it really is,
Yeah.
but it's basically become a timeline as well
yeah.
of events.
I mean, I gotta add the history in there.
Oh, it's true. I mean, because history is what led to how society evolves.
Exactly.
So, but it's just like you thought you haven't actually put much thought into this.
This is just random things that pop into my head.
Yeah, you've put more thought into this than I have. You're putting me to shame, which is
know.
because if we talk about any other project I'm working
yeah.
on, you'd be like, oh, I got you.
I am being put to shame right
Yeah, but like because we're as a joint project and it's not my top priority to work on at the moment, I have no work in it, and it's just like, yeah, oh yeah, I thought about this, but 6 months later, I forgot about it. And like, I have this new idea. Like,
oh crap! I actually have a fifth. Well, the fifth society is the mythic, the monks of Ruin Arc. Ruin Arc.
Ruin Arc.
Their society is not truly closed off because they're constantly searching for newer recruits.
Yep.
People who are able to use their abilities as well, and to teach them to further use them. It's just the fact that no one can go there, and they don't really trade with others. They have everything that they absolutely need because they're able to manipulate the elements. So they're like, oh, I need a new farm here. Boom. The soil is good. Boom, we got crops growing. All right, who wants dinner? Boom, we got dinner. What's up? How you doing?
You should. I know you call them the monks of Roanark.
Yep.
You should really call them the monks of Roanoke.
No.
After the lost colony.
Why do you think it's Ruin Arc?
Roanoke.
Roanoke is not that far away.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, really, they're the way that I see them in my mind is the best way I can describe it to a layperson right now is they are kind of a Buddhist monk society.
Yeah.
It's a lot of meditation and a lot of learning how to do this, but it's men and women together. Like entire families grow up there.
What you may want to think about is throw in do a little research and throw in like Native American
Yeah.
like practices.
Yeah,
with it.
no, I'm seeing like for the meditation,
Yeah.
the katas, it's very you know, Buddhist monk style, but at the same time, their everyday life is very much in tune with nature.
Yeah.
Like they're vegans, but they're not going to tell you in the first two sentences. They look like they do CrossFit, but they're not going to tell you right away.
It's not like so if you walk up like, oh, how's it going? I'm vegan and I do CrossFit.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. They're just going to be like, "Hi, I'm so and so of this order."
Are they going to make you feel bad for not being vegan?
No. They actually they don't care because sadly their mindset is if you're not in tune with nature,
Yep.
you never will be.
Ah.
So so they look at you. They don't look down upon you, but they go, "I'm here to protect you from what will be coming.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't need to be around you to protect you. We're here to protect the planet. You just happen to be on the planet."
Because you're on the planet, you are part of the planet.
Exactly.
And as much as I want to punch you in the face right now, I can't.
For being just an idiot right now.
For eating
I
meat.
won't.
For eating meat.
No, they don't.
No.
They just choose not to
Yeah.
because actually, in their homeland,
Yeah.
there wasn't really much in the way of like, cows and stuff like that. Like there was no meat source.
Ah.
Like there were animals, but it was just like, oh, look at those birds. Hey, we're gonna eat squash.
Hey, look at those birds. I want one. I wonder what they taste like. Crap, they're hard to catch. I'm gonna take this because I don't have to do anything.
Well, no, I mean it's like chickadees, it's small
Yeah.
birds, but like there's never been a populace of animals
Enough where they could actually.
that can be a meat source.
Yeah, because they eat them and it's probably they're gone.
Not. Yeah, they're yes, it's their entire their land mass is the size of a small country. At the same time, it's not like it's not that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're the Jedis. I like to think of it that way.
You had to,
Earth-bending Jedis.
you had to bring the Jedi in here. You had to bring Star Wars.
Of course I did. I mean,
If you want a fantasy series that's basically telling the story of Star Wars, go listen to or read Aragon: The Inheritance Cycle.
it is. It's pretty awesome. Man, what else? I mean, yeah, we might as well get into it. The technology of my world.
What about my world? Oh wait, that's right.
Yeah. All right. So, technology looking wise and the look of the world, basically, they've reached an early 1900s world.
Okay.
But some technology has advanced way beyond that.
Okay.
Because I mean, there was pre-stuff.
Well, yeah,
the
because they
Cataclysm.
were super technologically advanced before the
Right.
the event.
Yes, which is why they were able to record what was happening prior to the event, and then the event happened, the Cataclysm happened, and a lot of the information was lost. Some of it was saved, and therefore, like, there are pockets of technology that may not be able to be used, but some of it has been able to be reused and reverse engineered and
Yeah.
worked out better. Cloning technology, manufacturing is one that it has it's back to where it needed to be.
But I mean, also it's been 4,000 years. So if anyone's, why aren't they further along by then?
Well, because the Cataclysm had destroyed so much that basically they went back to it's a post-apocalyptic world at that point.
I would even say, based on the catastrophic events of having another planet pulled near you,
Yeah,
it's not even a post-apocalyptic. It's basically back to the Stone Age.
basically.
But yet with technology that's been buried.
Yeah, I mean,
There.
a lot of it just was buried or it collapsed. There's ruins all over the place.
And this tribal starting to form any kind of society, and then other people who happen to found technology or kept it
Yeah,
taking over. Yeah, it's gonna take a while to recover from such an event that, in some ways, yes, it's gonna be more advanced, but in other areas, but other ones it's like no.
No, they don't have they don't have planes or anything like that.
I do love how I did have you call it the event for a second.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they do have what they do have planes, but it's not they have never advanced to outer space travel.
Okay.
Like they don't. One of the best parts about this entire planet is they don't have a petroleum based fuel source for vehicles.
Because there was no dinosaurs on there.
Well, no, it's a magic based.
Yes.
They
Basically,
figured out how to store magic as a fuel.
it basically sounds like your planet is like a hodgepodge of different eras technology and
Oh god! Oh yeah, yeah.
Like-
It's
based on the look and aesthetic of society and all that is like early 19th century,
yes.
but like you have almost like you could have almost like jets.
They for some strange reason they've never decided to move to like it. If you looked at it, it's kind of a jet.
No, I'm talking like kind of like the jets like you'd see like in like Avengers.
Yes. Exactly.
But like that kind of jet, but then you have manufacturing from the 18th century.
Kind of. But it can create like other things. They've yes, they're still figuring out how to get better at things, but they're not to the point that everyone has a home computer.
Yeah, and also almost like if you loot one of these like jets, we'll just call them jets for the hell of
Okay.
it, just for easy sake. Not a traditional jet, but but if you lose one, it's not easily replaced.
No,
It's like it's gonna take a year maybe
to manufacture a new one.
if you're lucky to take
Yeah.
a year.
But because most of it is the physically making another one of them
Yeah.
isn't easy.
Because you're
And then it's imbued with magic and then it can fly.
the magic cells that
Yeah. But they have magic based weapons.
I can almost kind of picture your the two major kingdoms, the east and the west. One being more like almost futuristic looking, because that area has advanced to more of a futuristic element, whereas the western is more of an industrial, dark, like smoggy, polluted kind of. Yes, they still have the advanced technology, but it has the aesthetic hasn't become an important part. It's more about some other areas.
It's all about the practicality.
Yeah. So it's like it could combine two areas.
Yeah, one of them is all like my Eastern Empire is all about the aesthetic, and the Western Empire is all about the practicality.
Yeah. So yeah, if you could draw, you'd have some fun drawing this out.
I would love doing this. But yeah, like the technology, yes, it's advanced, but it's not. The Borderlands are basically the they're the Wild West, kind of.
How I describe based on eras is based on weaponry. Do they have guns?
Yes.
Do they have? Is it a lead ball, or they've gotten to the point of bullets?
It's actually lasers.
Oh, so they do have lasers. They've gone that far. So they're
Yeah, it's magic based.
okay.
Yeah, it's not projectiles.
Okay, so they're beyond projectiles.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Now, at the same time, there are societies who do create projectile based weaponry.
Makes sense because if everyone's based on a magic-based laser, they're gonna create shields that will stop that.
Yep.
Not a projectile. So if you have a projectile, it's gonna go right through any like energy shield.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
Oh crap! I'm dead.
Yeah.
Based on how do because you have the cat people who are
Yes.
assassins. When they are in these societies, how do they interact with what's their technology like?
Most of their technology is based upon camouflage.
Okay, I almost think you could take a lot from Black Panther in a sense to describe them.
Yes.
But in a sense of more of the jungle element as well, but
They-
also
I
what
like
is
to
it?
think of them as kind of my Wakanda.
Yeah, the jungle there, but infuse it with Japanese element as well.
Right.
Oh, I'll have to find the book.
A little bit of the elves of Tolkien as well.
I'll have to find the book.
Technically Ewoks.
I'll have to actually go find the Wikipedia for the book. On the Pendragon series by DJ McHale.
I think
guy,
I've heard of it.
yeah, the guy who created Are You Afraid of the Dark TV
Yeah.
show. He's a bunch of book series. Pendragon was his first book series, and one of them, because he had different territories. One is a jungle where you have cat type people and humans. Cats are the cat people. I can't remember what he calls them. Are the dominant species, and humans are enslaved
Oh wow.
because they think they're dumb. They think they're almost like
Well, they are cats.
yeah.
You worship cats as if you're human, you're supposed to be worshiping cats.
Um,
Have you never listened to your cat?
Yeah. But they have some technology in there. I'll have to go and see if I can find some of the technology they have.
Yeah.
Because that would be kind of cool if you combine the two, kind of with Condon, stuff like that.
It's a lot about being able to blend into the rest of society. So they have like holographic projectors on, like they're able to project something on themselves. So all they look like to when they're out in society is just a big, human,
I have
slightly taller human and thicker.
that'd be kind of cool for like the technology for outside the jungle.
Oh yeah.
One thing you may want to think about for this just dives in the full out race of the people. So going back to last week, because it popped in my head now.
Yeah, why not?
Was the event changed them?
Oh yeah, they weren't. Well, okay.
Oh,
So their pre-event history
yep.
is that they were a science experiment. Someone was trying to imbue, basically trying to create a human-cat hybrid,
Okay.
and the DNA. They were trying to build a weapon.
Yeah. Well, see, here's what I'm thinking of. The event could change. Well, because you're going with that one, it may not work as well.
Well,
But
they
you
were
could-
let out,
Oh, okay.
and then they started
Be-
like naturally breeding from there.
Were they let out before the event or after the event?
During the event,
Okay, so then this would still work because if they're out in their
basically they escaped.
because if they're out in the jungles when the event happened, the magical energies in there could have them blend in, not necessarily blend in or merge, but they take on other traits of creatures within the jungle. So
Oh no, they actually have no magical abilities.
I'm not talking about magical abilities. I'm talking like lizards that can blend into their.
Oh no, yeah, they sadly don't have that.
I see. I think you may want to think about.
They instead have like it's all technology for them.
Well, see, the thing is, because if you did that element, like just more like their fur, change it, kind of adapt. Not that as good as like a lizard, but enough to help them blend in naturally.
Oh, okay.
Like not just like the full point, like they can like fully meld into it, but like they can change in like their fur can match the colors and shading, but not the textures or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
You may want to that way.
Oh, that actually sounds really cool.
Yeah, because
Oh, well, the military was trying to get them to be assassins originally. Now
there you go.
now we're following. Okay, so the pre-cataclysm, they were in a science experiment, so
Yeah.
they had the ability to camouflage themselves. Not necessarily like they, if they're out in the desert,
Yeah.
their fur lightens to be more the yellow that surrounds them.
Yeah.
It's not perfect
No.
in any way, but like you put them high up in a tree, suddenly that cat turns more brown, and you're just like lost them up there.
See, I
more
want-
dark.
I mean, it's your
The real assassins are always black because they fade in. They actually can fade into. They can get so black that they become negative. Like they can fully like disappear into darkness.
See, I mean, this is like your race, but I mean, wouldn't have that be part of the science experiment, because if you have them the be able to blend into their surround, like changing the fur, be a direct result of being in the forest when the event happened, that would makes it a little bit better, to me at least.
because magic went crazy when the event happened, when the cataclysm happened. When when the cataclysm happened, as they left and they started to settle down and magic settled back in,
Yep.
their ability for the being able to morph their fur colors and stuff like that became like 1,000-fold. Originally, it was just basically like all the cats were calico cats, and the experiment basically they just went, okay, this becomes more of your dominant color, and then that's as far as they ever got with the experiment. It was just like they tweaked the DNA genomes to be able to unlock that. It's magic that went, yeah, we're going to turn that to 11. You guys go have fun and breathe. But they have no natural affinity for magic.
Yeah.
So because of that, and they've been so closed, technology just went crazy for them.
Also, the thing you could do is because of magic went wild during the event, that and it turned that up to a 11, but it also the consequences that they can't use magic.
Yes, that was their consequence. Like humans weren't really affected magically during the cataclysm.
Well, actually,
they were affected, but
one thing you could do, and you could, certain people were kind of their magic was dialed up to 11, but they're on the other side of the planet, not where this is, because for some reason they just wandered that way.
Oh, okay.
Or they were or they didn't know how to control it, and enough people ganged up on them, so they said, "Yeah, go that way."
Oh no, I was thinking more like during the cataclysm. Part of not only was the Earth, shattered, and the Earth moved all over the place. Earthquakes and massive.
Yeah.
It was like our magical storm or my magical storm around the city of Runuk.
Yeah.
Runark.
Runuk.
That at one point during the cataclysm enclosed the entire planet.
Oh, wow.
So that's what was going on. People's when you tried to use magic, it would either not happen at all or it was an 11. Like there was no in between. It was like, oh, hey, I want to open this can with magic because, I can do that. Suddenly I've crushed the can, or nothing happens at all, or I've made 1,000 of these cans in the same room with me. So, but I mean, at the same time, you trying to, your family is now been split because of an earthquake. You're trying to reach out through magic and pull them to you. Well, you accidentally crushed your family and you threw their body parts at you. It's like there were horrible. So people for a while after the cataclysm on the humans didn't trust their magic, which is why magic stayed so stagnant for such a long time.
Well, going back to your can thing, it's like instead of you're trying to open with magic, you don't crush it. You basically just flip the can inside out, so the drink is on the outside, and the can, and it's just like,
you're like,
and it hovers there in the form of the can, and it's like, oh wait, we're not in the can anymore.
Yes, and there's a piece of
like this tight, you just have like this. The can there is like, okay,
all right, I guess that's happening.
Man, that was the last one.
I want some more. I'm going to use magic to make some more. I made 1,000 of them.
Like,
okay, well, I mean, I wanted one.
It's like, you made 1,000 of them. Okay, let's reduce that number. You just made yourself into the drink.
No, I disappeared. And we're done here.
Done here.
But yeah, during the cataclysm, magic went nuts all over the planet.
Magic goes nuts on my planet too, but since the humans who come over came up at the very end.
Yeah.
It didn't really affect them that much.
Good.
And it basically is the spiritual beings that were being ripped apart because of the event, and the dick angels were made. Do their dicks. Like, I plan on having a scene in a story just to show you how dickish these angels are.
Yeah.
Just so you can be like, wow, that's a dick.
All right. Yeah. I mean,
But technology, actually, I've actually been thinking more on how my technology is going to work on mine.
yeah.
I think it's going to be like a magic base,
Okay.
like a very simple, like nature base. Like you could have like a car, like you have the form of a car, wood, trees, like wood, but it's not like no, you don't need like mechanics or electricity or anything because it's fueled by like they use magic to make it go.
All right.
So you still will need you still want like a seatbelt because well you're going fast. You stop suddenly. The laws of physics don't change, but some of the people who are more understanding of magic can put in precautions so you don't move that much, or something like that. Stuff like that. I'll have to work on it, but I'm kind of it's gonna be more of a natural nature based, but it's gonna be with magic infused into it. It's definitely gonna be involved in it. And it's gonna be one of those things where it's not gonna like it won't necessarily be there's no assembly to create these things because when people need something like that, oh we need to get this a far distance away and walking is inconvenient because they're on a timetable. They just make it right there using magic. Like,
oh wow.
They're like kind of like they just kind of almost like your alchemy in a sense, but they kind of these trees here. And then they can go. And when they're done, they just kind of return it back to the trees with the area they are. So it's just like, of course, I mean, the more there'll be some kind of consequence. Like the more they use it to those trees keep being used, the less efficient and less they start to die because as they're being used in a non-tree format, they start to die. But when you put them back together, they're still dying, and they'll recover because they're attached to things. But that damage remains,
Okay.
or something like that. But it's gonna be a more technology that base. There will probably be at some point some kind of the traditional technology base over there, but I think I'm gonna go with that element. I think it'll be more interesting to craft than trying to recreate a traditional technology.
Yeah.
But
Oh, now I'm looking forward to what we do next, though.
yes. So next week we'll actually be doing another planning session, but this time it won't be based on our world building. It'll actually be story building.
Oh. All right. Finally,
So
I get to
Yeah.
pull the curtain back on my story,
Yes.
my characters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Adam,
What?
I don't know what I was gonna say,
Okay.
but
I mean,
but yeah, well, let us know down in the comment section what you thought of our world building for this one, or more specifically, Adam's world building.
yes.
Again, I apologize for having to listen to only his voice for majority of the episode. I mean, I know you come and listen to my voice of goldness and purity, but he's done more work.
I'm not even trying on this. The actual writing part of it, that's the tough part for me.
But yeah, as you heard at the end of the episode, the next week's episode will be another planning session, but it's gonna be story based. We'll actually focus on our story building and what we want to do with it, how it's gonna come together, and go from there. But on your way down to comment and let us know, be sure to give us a thumbs up. I mean, we're at 43 minutes, people. You made it here.
You're doing great.
And if you lasted this long listening to Adam, you definitely need to give us a thumbs up.
Thank you.
Actually, we're giving you thumbs up for putting up with Adam's voice. But like, you made it this far in, you might as well give us a thumbs up too. And then be sure to subscribe, ring the bell. Adam, what's the tagline again?
And join in on the fun.
Yeah, the last week's was better, and that was still crappy.
Oh, okay.
But yes, subscribe and join the notification, and so you know when all the videos go up on the 01 podcast. And yeah, I think that's all I have. What do you have?
Keep writing. Every
writing.
day, write. Come
Every
up with ideas. Just write something down. It's cool. Ideas are awesome.
Anything else?
We'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Okay.